welcome back. This is For the Love of Baby Boomer Show, and I'm your host, Dolores Clybert. We have such a very informative show. Erica Carmichael is here, and she's giving us a lot. It's like chicken soup of information. Okay, and I appreciate it. We're going to move forward now. You know, we want to get ready for our spring, and we're going to use the winter, December, January to do that. How do you do that? How do you get ready for spring?
Well, the way you get ready for spring is like when we get ready for anything, we're preparing ahead of time. So in December, you want to start looking at what is it that I want to plant in this, in spring. Do I want to start from seed, or do I just want to buy a plant start? Mm-hmm. If I'm starting from seed, what seeds or flowers or herbs am I starting? Some things need to be started in January. Okay. Some things for seeds. Mm-hmm. And then some things you can start in February or March. You want to look at, do I have a greenhouse to start these seeds in, or am I starting in my house, either in a pantry or a little area you have in your kitchen or your living room, to put up a tray with a little clear cover on it that acts as a greenhouse. Okay. So those who've been in gardening for a while will probably already have some that they continuously use. Mm-hmm. For those who are new gardeners that decide, hey, you know what, next year I want to have a little miniature garden or a little something, you're going to want to have to go out and purchase them. Okay. So again, you got your Amazon and your big box stores that you're purchasing these things from, but we're not going to wait till January to get seeds and things to start our gardening with. We want to do that in December. Okay. So someone may say, oh, I may ask for a gift card from Amazon or Lowe's for Christmas to start my garden. There you go. Or I may put a little something aside, but you want to make sure you got your seeds. So whether you're on rareseeds.com, whether you're at Lowe's, whether you're on Amazon, look at the seeds that you're getting. Seeds definitely want to be started January, February, and the beginning of March.
I never knew it had to start so early. Yes. I would have started like in March and April.
Exactly. Right. And some people wait that late, not realizing that, hey, I wanted to start my tomato seeds because I think I want to do tomato seeds this year and not buy a tomato plant. Well, honey, January is when you should have put them seeds in. Now, you can still start them in March. But remember, we want to make sure that we have a plant to put in the ground at the end of May. Oh, boy. Middle to end of May, you want to put that in. And certain things have a timeline as to how long it takes for it to grow. Okay. So if you're looking to plant peppers or tomatoes, you want to make sure that you do that in January. Okay. If you want to have, let's say, some coleus, you can start those in February. Okay. And now, coleus is a plant.
It's a flower. It's a flower. It's a plant. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that. And it's a beautiful plant that can grow mainly in the shade, correct?
Mainly in the shade, but it can take some sun if you're watering it often. Okay. An array of colors, from dark purples to reds and oranges. I mean, it is a beautiful flower, and you can break the stem off at the top, stick it in some soil,
and it'll pick up.
It'll pick right up.
Well, I know it, and it'll come back the next year. I don't know if it's perennial, but I know that mine seemed, I was planting other things in my pots, but the coleus came back up.
It is so funny. Coleus are supposed to be annuals.
It's supposed to be.
I think if they get the right amount of covering, or they're in with other things that help, almost like a frost blanket or something, or mulch that's on it. I've had coleus seeds that have been all over the place from either the birds putting them over there, or when I'm plucking them, picking them, trying to keep them to be full. the next year, I'm like, I got coleus growing up through
Yeah.
the bricks, and I'm like, it's a coleus plant there, you know. So,
yeah.
but yeah, so those are things that you want to plant between January and February, as far as starting your seeds. You want to make sure your fertilizers.
So
you already
many
have
of
them.
us are really thinking so different. I know I was one of those. I was thinking late. I'm thinking, oh, it's spring. Okay, March, April, May. You know, meanwhile, these plants needed to be seeded in January, February to be planted in the garden
by that time.
Yes. So let's keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Making out your plan. You know, get yourself a notebook or a little piece of paper, not little piece, but a piece of paper. Map out how many garden beds you want, or if you're just doing one. And if you're doing one, what size? We doing a 4x4?
Yeah.
We doing a 2x4?
Now, I have to say something again. Okay, so many years ago, about 7 years ago, I decided to do garden. I'm from New York. I didn't know anything about no garden. And then I worked all of my adult life. I wasn't thinking about gardening. But now here I am, retired. I want to do my garden.
Yes.
I had somebody come dig me a 12x12 and make a fence around it. Oh, I was going to do this. When I finished and this garden grew, I had enough for a house full of everything.
Yes.
I didn't know it could take over. So you really have to plan.
You really have to plan.
Oh, my goodness.
You can either have too much or not enough. Or I didn't know that this was going to take over the entire garden, you know. So looking at what plants I want to plant that are vining for the following year, you know, like your cucumbers, they vine.
Yes.
You know, your tomatoes, you know, then looking at, okay, what things are more bushy or spread out, you know, because you have certain green beans that are bush beans, you know, so I'd rather plant that in front of the cucumber because the cucumber is growing up.
Right.
So then that can sit.
Okay. It could sit on the side. Yeah, you have to plan and
really
you have to know what you're planting, how it grows. I didn't know anything. I was just doing it.
Yes. And then we're going to look at what about if we're not even going to start seeds, but we want to do plant starts. So we just want to go buy them. You know, so what are we going to do in reference to that? You know, don't only look at your big box stores. Look at some of the nurseries.
Okay,
you know, in the Richmond area, you got Cross Creek Nursery. You got the Great Big Greenhouse in Southern States. You know, and some of the other nurseries, Sneed Nursery.
Sneed is pretty good.
You know, your vegetables that you buy from there, most of the time, they're locally grown. Most of the time, not only are they locally grown, but sometimes when you're getting it from the big box store, they could have had some frost on some of them and it could have stunted their growth. Not all the time, but sometimes that can happen and you're wondering why it's growing a little bit slower than what it should have. It's because they had to start it so early so that way they could get it to the stores in time. Yeah, so and a lot of times the nurseries they're gonna cost less.
Yeah.
You know, you may get one tomato plant from your big box store that was $5. The exact same size plant, you paid $2.50 for it from your nursery.
Another thing about the nursery, Sneed's especially, I love Sneed's. This is Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, by the way, for those who are not familiar with the area. Why I like Sneed's or those type of stores is sometimes they don't throw plants away when they don't look good, okay? And, you know, they take them and they, with Sneed particularly, they have an area called Charlie Brown's. And it's for, you know, plants that don't look so good. Right. You know, they need a little help, whatever. And it's usually like 75% off.
Which is even better.
Oh,
because, you know, all you have to do is take it home, give it a little fertilizer.
Girl, a little love, okay?
And it comes back flourishing.
Oh, yeah.
So who don't want to get 75% off or something?
And go buy another plant.
Right. And you know that's what we're going to do with the rest of our money. Because that's what I do. I'm like, oh, this was on set. I mean, I get 2 of these. that means I could go buy this little plant over here too that won't even on my list.
There you go. There you go. Get another cucumber. Boing.
Exactly. So definitely we want to plan, but the planning starts in December, so that way you know what it is you want to do in January, what it is you want to do in February, what things do you need. Start looking through the things that you have. Am I out of fertilizer? Am I out of chicken manure?
Right.
Am I out of this? Do I need more of this?
Because it's nothing like going to the store for something you need and they don't have it. They're out. This place is out. That place. Hey, come on. Yeah, so plan
ahead. Yes, we definitely want to plan. The other thing within our planning, you want to make sure you're looking at how many rows of what do I have or do I want to have.
Okay.
Am I going to have 3 of this plant or 4 or just 1?
Okay.
Look back at your notes from prior years if you were taking notes. And if you weren't, start this year.
Some of us don't take notes. Okay. All right.
Start this year. So that way you can say, I planted this on this side and it didn't do too well.
Okay.
So that means it was more sun going over here. So this needs to be here. And then the thing that doesn't need as much can go here.
Yeah, that's important to know. It's important to know your area. Know when the sun rises, where it rises, where it sets, where the sun is at all day or not. You need to know that because the plants have their specialties.
They really do. They really do. So when we're looking at planning, remember we were talking about making sure that we've ordered the seeds that we want to order. What seeds are we going to order? Looking at if we want to do plant starts and when to purchase them. If we're going to purchase our plant starts, you want to make sure that you're purchasing them a little bit closer to when you're going to plant them. Because if you don't, you're going to have to up pot them, which means taking a bigger pot, adding more soil to it, and then putting it in there.
Oh,
yeah. So if you want to buy the actual tomato plant and not do it from seed, you're not planting that until the middle to end of May.
Okay.
And so when you're planting that the middle to end of May, that means that, okay, what size tomato plant am I going to get? Do I want to spend a little bit more money and buy it at a bigger size?
Okay.
Or do I want to spend a little less money, get it at a smaller size, but just wait a little bit before I plant it? Or do I have bigger pots that I can put it in at my own home and then be able to up pot them?
Okay.
Also, if you're buying plant starts early. Some of the box stores are putting their tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers and squash out at the beginning of March, but you're not putting stuff out in March.
No, because you have the frost still.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you can still get a frost, a snow.
Yeah.
It has snowed in March before.
Things like that happen.
Yes. So you want to make sure, do I have a place to put them? All of this has to do with planning. Looking at the weather. Start looking at your weather for the following year. Looking at when your last frost date is. Start looking at, okay, am I going to have to keep my frost cloths out because I'm going to have to cover up some of these newer veggies that I have. So all of that has to do with the planning.
Okay. So planning is very important from soup to nuts. Okay. Yes. Oh, Erica, this has been wonderful. We have gotten a lot of information from you, and I want to thank you now for returning to us. Yes. And for everybody listening, Erica has promised to come back again and help us with our spring garden.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And so, Erica, if somebody wants to get in touch with you for tips on gardening, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can get in touch with me through so many different ways. You can always text me at 804-339-0172. I also have a Instagram, which is called My World is Gorgeous, which is based off of my YouTube channel.
I love that name. I love it.
I have a gardening YouTube channel called My World is Gorgeous, and a lot of people pop things in the comments. I always respond back. I read every comment. And Other than that, you can email me if you like to as well at Emarie's Hair Salon, EMARIES Hair Salon at gmail.com.
All right.
And let's see. Oh, and you can also find me on Facebook under the same name, Emarie's Hair Salon.
All right. So again, I want to thank you for being here and being our guest.
Yes.
And as far as For the Love of Baby Boomers, you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, and you can email us all with the same name, For the Love of Baby Boomers, and that's the number 4, love is spelled LUV. Like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel. We'll see you, or rather not see you, but we'll talk to you next week.